Today is September 15, and I'm headed out to the farm for the first time in a while, and I actually feel sort of myself in regards to my ability to train. And what I mean by that is that I think I have my lungs back, and I think I feel strong. Yesterday I did 10 sets of pull-ups, body weight, with 30-second rest periods in between sets, and I was able to get 103 reps. So that was good. And so even though I need to squat and deadlift, I feel good about my strength. And so now it's time to up the event work a little bit, because I've got a series of shows coming up. This weekend, I've got the West Virginia State Championships in St. Mary's, West Virginia, hosted by the Taylor family. Next weekend, I am flying out to Washington State to spend time with my good friend David Moses, going to Port Angeles for an event hosted by Brandon Sergai, then coming back to near Seattle to an event that's hosted by Mike and Jessica Carriger, or Jessica Marcellus. And then coming home, and then the weekend after that, we've got the Holly Showdown, or the Holly Hoedown, up in Holly, Pennsylvania, and then Forest Festival, Johnny Appleseed, and then Devil's Back. No, then we got the Class of the Axeman up near Shake Gap, and then we've got, to wrap out the season, the final event at Devil's Backbone, hosted by Scooter Coger. So it's going to be a busy next 6 weeks for me with the sport. Alrighty, I am 3.5 hours into answering some discovery. I am another 3 and some odd hours into answering emails. And I got dressed to go to court this morning, but the hearing got canceled, and I already was on my way to the office, so I went into the office and picked up some crap. Yeah, I need to release some stress, because this is going to turn into a 12-hour billable day, just like yesterday, which was the same as freaking Monday. So, when it rains and pours, I want to start out with single, which like I always do, and the reason why is because I like to do it for warm-up. And beyond that, I don't have to think to do this. I have made so many thousands of cuts that I just let the body take over. And so the only thing that I'm really working on here is maintaining straight saw and transitioning and being smooth, because that's what matters. Because almost all the races that I have for the rest of the year, I believe it's on small wood. I don't know what I'm cutting out west. I hope it's big, because Old Fatty is fit. I got that going for me. Underhand, I am going back to the bicep on the cheek commentary, because even though I trained it that one day that I actually got to train because of work's been so damn busy, I backslid when the starter gun went off. So anytime you try to make a change like this with your technique, you need to do a lot of swings. So I've got a red elm set up. Now, red elm is one of the harder of the hardwoods that we have. But I think this is a pretty decent tree. So what I'm working on is on my right hand hits, or my drive hits, because I'm left-handed, is getting my right bicep on my cheek, which gets my hands higher. On my chip hits, opposite side. So I'm just trying to get a long swing while being quick. That wood cut's beautiful. That's good proper hardwood right there. It's glassy, but it's firm to where you have to cut it right in order to make it look good. So I'm gonna just take a gander at that scarf. There's the scarf. I'm using a training axe. Beautiful wood. This hit right here was the only one that I really didn't like because I missed this right here. But otherwise, slope, good on the drive side, adequate on the chip. Let's have some fun in the back. Still get the slopes on both sides are pretty good there. You know, the ship's hung in the way. But ideally, what I want is to keep it high as possible when my drive hits. Got a little short there toward the end, but chip hits were good. I know the speed is not going to be there because the longer recoil takes more time. I have to accept that. So I do. Right. With these standing blocks, what I'm working on is that downswing, getting that bicep in the way of my line of sight. In other words, getting the angle of presentation at the back of the swing instead of using my wrists and hands to alter or to change the slope before the axe goes into the wood. Just much more efficient to maintain that angle from the back of the swing all the way through. I do it easily on the up hits. I don't know why, but I do. And then I don't do it on the down hits. So here we go. Here's where I feel the impacts of freaking COVID. So a little bit about what happened to me. So about 8 days of sleeping 15 hours, 12 to 15 hours a day. Cold sweats for the entire 8 days. I think I have I got my strength back, but I just don't have my girth, my real go, get up and go. So I wanted to do one of these Champions Trophy races after I finish the standing block, but let's be realistic. I don't know if I can, but who knows? Wife might get rich. Fucking hell. This is my time. It's a combination of me missing where I want to hit and feeling like I've got some pop on the swing. And unfortunately, when you're cutting this type of wood, every mistake you make is going to come out. And so that's the reason why I enjoy cutting it, because it makes those mistakes come to the forefront. When you cut softwood, doesn't matter. You can hit it any which way you want to, and you're still going to progress into the log. With this, if you cut outside your line or cut inside your line, you're not going to get the log off. And so that's the reason why it's so beneficial to be cutting hardwood. But reassess. It's going to take a while for me to get my go done. I'm getting ready to do a Champions Trophy race, and the reason why I'm doing this is because the Johnny Appleseed is having one. I think it's the second weekend in October, so we're about a month out. And I basically have to do this to make sure that I'm not going to die. When you're 53 and you're a little bit obese, you need to make sure that your body can withstand stuff. And I just had COVID 3 weeks ago. So I've got a foot dry pine. I'm using a hardwood axe because I don't give a shit. 16-inch single, which is pretty much par for the course, training saw. And then I've got an 11-inch pine, and I'm using another hardwood trainer. I don't care. So I probably will not go 100% on this because I don't know if I can even complete it, to be very frank. That sucked. It's amazing what cutting hardwood does for putting the axe on the wood right for pine. Even though you're using absolute shit axes, it still goes in. Doesn't necessarily come out so well because they're hardwood axes and the edges are so thick. But yeah, freaking cut that little 10.5 and 11-inch pine, and like 5 in the front and 9 in the back, and didn't even look like I was just letting the axe drop, to be very frank. The underhand, I didn't go far enough under in the front with my last driver. That's the reason why it took forever to get it off, but I'll take it. It's a good first race. If I can get to where I can do a couple of weeks so that I don't die when the day comes, be very pleased. Yeah.